Hello everyone, I'm JG and welcome back to Music Forever, where today I'm going to be doing a track review for the new single from Brockhampton, 1999 Wildfire. And I'm also going to be talking about another song that they dropped somewhat recently, Tonya, which was not officially released an official manner, like with a music video and like a single on streaming services and things like that. It was just performed live. But you can, of course, find that on YouTube if you wish to see it. And the quality of the live performance is, pretty high, I would say. So, I didn't really feel like making a full video just when that song came out because it wasn't an official, track release or anything quite like that. But I figured considering that they released another song now from their upcoming album, I might as well talk about that after I'm done talking about this new single here today, 1999 Wildfire. Of course, these are the first couple of tracks that we've gotten from Brockhampton following the departure of Amir Van from the group, following that whole allegations against him there. And I do think overall that Brockhampton made the right decision with having Amir depart from the group, considering the group's image, their lyric subject matter. I feel like overall it was for the better that had to happen. But of course, I was left a little bit interested to see what Brockhampton were going to be able to do without him, because they do have lots of interesting and creative members in the group. I still feel like they can create good creative music following his departure. I was just interested to see what it was going to be, especially considering that the album they were working on, Puppy, that was supposed to be released in June, got, I guess, scrapped or reworked into this new album that we're going to be getting soon. So this new track here, 1999 Wildfire, what do I think about it overall? Well, my opinion on this track is that it's a good song overall. I think that this is pretty much what I expected to be getting from Brockhampton on a new project. It has lots of those things that you would expect from a Brockhampton track, an infectious hook from Kevin that is just earwormy on the first listen, lots of great, interesting verses here, and interesting, more abstract sort of beat. And overall, it maintains that Brockhampton feel that you would come to expect on their, tracks. In particular, my favorite verse on this thing is the Joba verse, where he's kind of talking about, his medieval flow. He has all these kind of, fantasy, kind of medieval sort of references packed into his verse, which I just thought was kind of cool, something that he hadn't really done before. And I just liked the way that he was flowing on this track as well. Not only was his subject matter interesting, but the way he was actually delivering it was interesting as well. I also really like how the group seems to be implementing Barefaced a bit more into their music. On the Saturation Trilogy, he was kind of, had less of a role, I guess you could say, but that was kind of done intentionally. But here, considering that they're done with the Saturation Trilogy and they're no longer, structuring their albums kind of like those albums, had that structure to them, I feel like they should be using him maybe a little bit more, and based on these two tracks here I'm talking about, that seems to be the case. Particularly in concerns to 1999 Wildfire, I think that his vocal part that kind of comes in here towards the bridge of the track is just very nice, very, I guess it sounds a little bit, upbeat in some regards, though the rest of the track does kind of have a, sadder feel to in some regards. And that's just another thing about these couple of tracks, is that they have a pretty sad feel to them. I mean, more so the track that they performed live, Tonya, that one definitely has a sad feel to it. But 1999 Wildfire, it's not, a very sad song, but I just get these sad feels from it. Like, the group is definitely going through some tough times, which, considering recent stuff that's happened in their group, would seem to be the case. But yeah, I really like Bareface's contribution to the track. I just felt like overall that this was a very solid single and a very solid, way to kick off, I guess, in a sense, their new album release cycle. And it's just a very solid single, and it shows that they could, be making some material that's on par with their Saturation material, even without Amir, which is kind of what I think Brockhampton had to do with these singles and this upcoming album. They really have to show that they still have it here, even though that they're down one member, which I definitely think that they still have, considering there's so much talent within the group across so many members. Losing one isn't really, that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I would say it's a big deal for them, considering that they know each other, but in terms of the music itself, I don't think it's going to affect that all as much. As for Tonya, I don't want to talk about this one, quite as much, considering it still hasn't had, an official release, but it is supposed to be on their upcoming album, so I'm guessing I'll get to talk about it when the album drops, or if it is dropped as a single, maybe I'll talk about it then. But overall, I think this track is good as well. I like the sadder feeling it has going for it. I like how, once again, Barefaced seems to have a bigger presence here in this track, kind of doing the opening part of this song. I think his vocals are great here. I like the verses on this track as well. Once again, hitting us with some sadder subject matter as well. Some of these lyrics definitely do seem to be inspired by some of the recent events that have, transpired within the group, considering that there's talks of, kind of being lied to in some regards, and I believe that in their statement, the group says they were lied to concerning Amir's departure, so I'm guessing that might be reflecting that in some regards, which I would expect, considering Brockhampton is a group that's always kind of worn their emotions on their sleeve, always been a bit real with their audience. So I would expect them to, in a sense, be talking about these recent events on their project, especially if they decided to either rework Puppy or completely scrap it and then rename it, this new album, the Best Years of Our Lives. That's what it's going to be called. And I just feel like overall, the lyrics on this track are very potent and very, they just work very well in my opinion. I especially like Dom's delivery. In this live performance, at least, I'm not sure if the official, track release is going to have so much passion thrown into it as the live version did, but I feel like what he did there in the live setting was done very nicely. I liked it overall. So overall, I like the singing on this track, I like the rapping on this track, I like the beat that was accompanying the track, and overall, I'm hoping that the album version of this song that hopefully we'll get when the album drops, or maybe as a single before it drops, I'm hoping that it's on par, if not better, than this live version that we got. But, at least with this live version, I still think it's a very great performance as well. You should definitely still check it out. But overall, those are just my thoughts on these couple of tracks that Brockhampton have released so far. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this new album is going to sound. Like I said, the sound of these tracks isn't super far removed from, their previous works. It definitely has a different sound and a different vibe than the Saturation trilogy had. However, it's not like, the group decided to throw us something completely different or something really surprising here. If you're a Brockhampton fan, if you've been a fan, I can't see you disliking these tracks because they're very much in line with what they've done before. And they're definitely showcasing that they still have it, even though they've been down a member and they've had, a turbulent couple of months in the past. But yeah, hopefully that's behind them. Hopefully they'll be able to deliver a solid project here. I'll definitely be reviewing it once it drops. So if you're a Brockhampton fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that review. And if you are a Brockhampton fan, I actually have reviewed all of their 3 Saturation albums and their All-American Trash mixtape. In fact, I have a playlist with all my Brockhampton related content in it. If you want to check that out, it is going to be linked in the description down below, as well as up on screen here at the end of the video. And if you want to hear these 2 tracks, I do have the videos associated with them linked in the description down below as well. The music video that they uploaded along with 1999 Wildfire and the live performance for Tonya. That's not on their official YouTube channel, I believe, but it's linked in the description down below if you want to check both of those out. 1999 Wildfire is also on streaming services, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's on Spotify, but yeah, definitely give these tracks a listen because they are very good, they are very solid, and they are very much worth your time. And overall, they have definitely gotten me excited for this upcoming album. Hopefully it'll drop sometime in the upcoming months. Yeah, that is just my own thoughts, though. Feel free to leave yours in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay golden.